Hello chess fans and welcome to Chess 5, and today we are going to talk about the game between Arjun Erigaisi versus Sam Shankland. And this game is from the Tata Steel Chess India Rapid 2021, and this is the round number 6. The time control of the tournament is 25 minutes plus 10 second increment, and this game was just superb. This game was just a legendary game. It's a masterpiece basically. So after watching the game, you're going to learn a lot actually, and perhaps you are going to be the fan of the opening as well. So first of all, if you're new to my channel, then make sure to subscribe the channel because I regularly post these types of interesting games so that it will eventually help you improving your chess games. So let's come back to the topic and let's discuss what happened in the game. So first of all, Arjun Erigaisi is having the rating of 2300. It's rapid rating basically. The classical rating is definitely much higher. He's a grandmaster. So Arjun with the white pieces started the game with 1d4, and Sam Shankland with the black pieces replied with d5. Knight f3, knight f6, and we have bishop to f4 by Arjun. So we have the London system. So Sam Shankland played e6. Idea is very simple. He's playing a solid structure. Idea is to play bishop d6 and castle. So Arjun simply played e3, bishop d6, and we have bishop to d3. So in the common London system idea, basically after playing bishop d6, white does not capture the bishop or does not go back, but white plays bishop to d3, allowing black to capture the bishop. Because after capture, white can simply castle in the position, play g3, protection the pawn, c3, and he can simply put the knight on e5, and white is perfect. So this is the basic idea of the London. After bishop d3, Sam Shankland simply castled. We have knight to d2, b6 by Sam Shankland. So black idea should play bishop b7, perhaps c5. So we have knight to e5 by white, putting the knight in a beautiful square because now the knight is having the square to come on f3 as well. So after playing knight to e5, Sam played c5, the most natural move in the position, trying to open up the position. White responded with c3, a very solid move. Queen to c7, and now we have queen to f3. Basically, the common reply in this opening is to play knight to f3, and the game goes on. But Arjun played something different, and he came up with the another exceptionist move, because the top two recommendations from the white side, according to the engine, is to play something like castle or perhaps queen e2, idea is to long castle and something like that. But he came up with the move queen f3, which is simply phenomenal. And we are going to see what is the speciality of playing queen f3. After queen f3, black played knight to d7, developing the piece. We have queen to g3 now. After queen g3, black played knight to e8. If you try to play in this position, if you try to play knight h5, hitting the queen, hitting the bishop, white can go for playing queen h4, and you basically cannot capture the bishop because it's made in one. Okay, so basically after playing here, black is kind of forced to play knight df6, and white is having this g4 ideas, and after c to d4, c to d4, knight into f4, the things are becoming a bit complicated, and after e into f4, it is already looking like white is completely controlling the position. White can simply attack in the position. So this is what's happening. So black didn't went for the knight h5 move, but he went for knight e8. It is a bit of passive move, but it will work because black idea could be to play something like f6 at some point, hitting the knight and attacking the bishop and the queen. White simply played knight to f3 in the position, and black simply captured the pawn on d4. We have c into d4, and now we have bishop into e5, capturing the knight with the bishop. And after capturing the knight, the common reply from the white side looks to capture the bishop with the bishop or with the knight, and the position goes on. But Arjun came up with the best move in the position, which is to capture the bishop with the pawn, which is d into e5, which is definitely an unexpected move, but it is the best move actually, because if you go for capturing the bishop with the knight, then after knight into e5, bishop into e5, we have something like queen to d7, and basically you cannot capture the pawn because knight is protecting the pawn. And now it's actually white is slightly better, but definitely a playable position for the black. So capturing the bishop with not the knight with the bishop, but he captured the bishop with the pawn. And now we can see that both the bishops are seeing on the king side, and black is completely passive in the position. And now we can see the importance of queen on g3. He first played queen f3, queen g3, and going for the king. And now we have g6 by black, cementing the pawn structure. White castle, knight to c5, going for the bishop, and now we have rook to c1 by white. Knight cannot capture the bishop, the queen is pinned, and white idea is also to play b4, hitting the knight. Black stopped that idea by playing a5, stopping b4, and now we have queen to h4. Definitely, black dark squares are already weak, and black is not having the dark square bishop, the key bishop on g7. And white idea could be to play something like g4, perhaps knight to g5, going for checkmate on h7. So black continued the position with bishop a6, going for the bishop trade. We have a bishop trade, and now white went for the move g4. And after playing g4, black played knight to g7. And after playing knight g7, white came up with the legendary move, which is queen to h6. And on the move 19, after playing queen h6, Sam Shankland with the black pieces resigned the game, and Arjun with the white pieces won the game. So what is happening basically? Let's check it out. After queen h6, white is already preparing to play knight g5, and it's mate on h7. So if the position goes on from this position, the best move for the black is to play knight to e8. White can play knight g5. And if white, so basically white is threatening a mate on h7. So the only way to stop the checkmate is to play either f6 or f5. But it doesn't matter what will you play. White is going to capture the pawn on f6, and now the queen is attacked, and it's already completely winning for white. And if black tries to move the queen, f7 check, and it's already game over. The connection between the pawn and the queen is lost, so you basically have to capture the pawn. And after knight into f7, queen into f7, white simply an exchange up. And white can even continue the position by playing h4 h5. It's already simply crushing position for white. White is simply crushing the black position. So first of all, let's talk about at the place of playing g4, why can't white go for the move queen h6? First of all, playing knight g5 in this position is not going to work because black is having kind of an h5 move. And if you try to play g4 opening up the position, black is having this knight g7, and you cannot capture the pawn, knight into h5, and now black is holding the position. It's an equal position. So playing queen h6, now white is preparing to play knight g5, hitting the pawn. But now black is having the move to play queen to d7, basically removing this diagonal. And if you go for the same variation, knight g5, and if black tries to play f5, if you try to end passing, then knight into f6 is simply working because the queen is not on c7, which is attacked. The queen is on d7, and now the queen is protecting the pawn on h7. So this is what is happening in the whole variation. So we can see that even a single tempo matters a lot. Definitely, it matters a lot. So this is what is happening, which we can say the queen on c7 was actually very unlucky because all black ideas to play f6, f7, f6 or f5 stopped because of in passing the queen is attacked and the game is already over. What Sam Shankland thought was, after looking to a6, g4, knight g7, he thought that if white tries to play knight g5 in the position going for a checkmate, he's going to simply play h5. And after something like capture knight into h5, Sam Shankland is like, okay, I'm perfect, no problem. But he simply missed this miracle move, which is queen to h6. And now there is not going to be any h5, knight g5 is coming, it's already checkmate. Game over. This was the interesting and phenomenal game played by Arjun Erigaisi. So we can say that in chess.com FIDE Grand Smash 2021, recently Arjun beat Caruana Fabiano, and he simply gained something like more than 70 rating points, which is simply phenomenal in the Blitz section. And currently in the Rapid section in the Tata Steel Rapid 2021, he's gaining more than 50 points, which is simply phenomenal. We can see that his level of playing is just simply phenomenal. He's not scared of anyone. So currently he's leading the tournament of the Rapid Tata Steel 2021 by 1.5. In the second position, Levin Aronian is there having 4.5 point, and Arjun Erigaisi is having 6 points, basically leading the tournament. So till now the round are still pending. So let's check it out. Who's going to be the winner basically. So first of all, if you like this game, then make sure to like the video. If you're new to my channel, then make sure to subscribe the channel as well. Share this video to as many as possible, because I think London system is actually a very nice opening, and beating the London system is pretty hard. And actually, we can say that London system is actually becoming a bit trendy, because London system is definitely becoming famous day by day, because many people are playing the London system. Many, because it's a very solid opening, it's a very positional opening, and white can attack from the white side. It is said to be that the London system is position opening, but we can say from this game, he simply played the London system and he simply crushed black. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching Chess Fight.